I'm Brian Altano, and this is IGN Now. Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki has discussed that while he doesn't think that Elden Ring is necessarily easier than previous FromSoftware titles, he does believe more people will be able to finish it this time around. Speaking to the official PlayStation.Blog, Miyazaki was asked about the ongoing discourse that surrounds the challenge and accessibility of FromSoftware's games, if the team was more mindful of these conversations when developing Elden Ring, and if they have impacted the way the team tailored and maintained FromSoftware's trademark difficulty for the game. Yes, we have, Miyazaki said. It's a valid discussion. I feel like our approach to these games, not just Elden Ring, is to design them to encourage the player to overcome adversity, aka get good. We don't try to force difficulty or make things hard for the sake of it. We want players to use their cunning, study the game, memorize what's happening, and learn from their mistakes. We don't want players to feel like the game is unfairly punishing, but rather that there's a chance to win a difficult encounter and make progress. He also went on to say, we understand that Souls-like games are regularly associated with impossible levels of difficulty with high barriers to entry, but we try to design the games to make the cycle of repeatedly trying to overcome these challenges enjoyable in itself. So we hope that with Elden Ring and the new options it provides, it will be a success in that respect. He went on to say, in Elden Ring, we have not intentionally tried to lower the game's difficulty, but I think more players will finish it this time. Miyazaki said, as I mentioned, the player's level of freedom to progress through the world or return to a challenge later are all elements that I feel will help people get through the game at a more leisurely pace. Also, there isn't a focus on pure action. The player has more agency to dictate their approach against, for example, the field bosses in the overworld and how they utilize stealth in various situations. Seems to me like you might be able to sneak by some enemies instead of fighting them. I'm still gonna fight them because I saw that big bear and I wanna kill him, and that's gonna be fun. But you do what you want. We've even reduced the number of hoops that you have to jump through to enjoy it in multiplayer, so we hope the players embrace that idea of receiving help from others. And we feel like the overall clear rate will go up this time because of these things. Okay, so this is me talking right now, Brian Altano. This part is particularly interesting to me, and obviously we'll learn more in like just under a month when this game is out. But this means that you might be able to summon online players to help you in way more areas in the open world than just kind of like, near and around the boss doors like a bunch of the old games. So I also wonder if this also means players will have more control of other players invading their world to fight them by surprise. A very cool and occasionally terrifying part of these games is when you're about to kill a boss or you're going through an area, you've got like 150,000 souls, and all of a sudden like, Dark Knight Chris shows up from the internet and just challenges you, and you got to take him on and beat his ass, or he kills you, however it goes. We will find out soon enough. I cannot wait. Now, I'm personally a gigantic fan of the Souls games. I platinum Bloodborne and all of its DLC. I just crossed through Dark Souls 3. Shout out to the Ring City DLC, one of the coolest places in any video game. But also, I totally get why people would want to summon more help to even, play more of the whole game in multiplayer. So these options sound really cool for those who want to use them. For those who still may be a bit worried Elden Ring may not be for them, Miyazaki did offer one further piece of advice when picking a class. Don't choose the Wretch, since that is apparently the toughest starting class to play as. Or if Elden Ring sounds like it won't be challenging enough for you, then play as the Wretch. That's the thing I love about these games. You can grind like crazy, you can be like a level 120 knight with a huge sword and armor, or you can play the whole game as a level 1 butt-naked prophet who uses a crappy tree branch you found in the swamp and just beating on the butts of these big skeleton wolf men and headless horse beasts and all that. God, I love these games. Elden Ring is out on February 25th, and I cannot wait for it. I'm giddy just talking about it. I just love these games so much. It's seriously my most anticipated game of the year. Anyway, for all things video games, stick with IGN.